What's up, guys? Welcome back to Little Red Garage. Working on a 78 Dodge Warlock. Today I'm going to show you how I hooked up the Lokar Kick Down Cable. Show you how I installed it, how I got to work with a ThermoQuad, and how I adjust the kick down cable. So we'll get right into it. Enjoy the video. Alright, so this is the kit from Lokar Performance Products. Specifically made for the Chrysler transmissions. This is showing you everything that comes with the kit. You get all the brackets. This is the transmission side, this is the carburetor side. It's pretty straightforward. The instructions are very helpful. It shows you how to cut the cable to length if you need to. You pull the sheathing out from the inside of the cable and you cut it, and then the cable comes back through. It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you guys, bring it down, show you what it looks like attached to the transmission. Alright, so you can see here is one of the brackets that came with the kit, and this is the cable. It attaches right to the ear of the tail shaft of the transmission. You can see I need to install my transmission lines. I didn't realize this one's actually got a drip coming out of it. That's next on my list. Here's the other end of it. It's gonna come down, and this is the lever that comes out of the transmission where it's going to activate the pressure that you need. So, and that's what the cable is doing. I'll bring it up top and explain why. So anytime that you change your manifold carburetor setup from stock, the original stock linkages are not going to work anymore as far as the kick down. They're steel rods, and if you change the height of the carburetor, the placement of it, there is some minute adjustments in there, but it's not worth trying to mess around with them. This Lokar kit is definitely the way to go. Very simple install, and it works great, and it's about $99. So, but part of the way I got this kit to work so well was also I got this bracket kit. I bought off eBay. It was like 70 bucks. It was a little expensive. You might be able to make something on your own, but it's these two brackets here. It does come with the springs. It comes with this nice little ARP stud here that holds the throttle cable, and it has the hold down the throttle cable. But it also has a provision for the kick down, this little linkage, which came into play for me very well, because this bracket here that I ended up attaching to the carburetor is that bracket that came with the kit. So this is actually, the cable is supposed to go through these holes that way. I flipped it around, and this is how I'm getting this to work on a ThermoQuad. So what I did was I welded a bolt to the end of this throttle shaft here. And then I bolted this little bracket to it, which was nice. It lines right up perfectly with this, and also it gives you the leverage so that when you throw the throttle back, it pulls on the kick down linkage. So that worked out really well. It took a little bit of engineering and screwing around to figure it out. I actually JB welded the bolt to the carburetor stud. I was trying to avoid actually welding to this at all costs. I didn't want to mess up the plastic bowls. I didn't want to put any unnecessary heat through the throttle shaft and mess with the bushings or anything. But the JB weld didn't hold. It was nice. It let me put this all together, and I was able to see that it actually functioned and worked. But it did end up snapping off with the torque of me just trying to throw it through its cycle here. It ended up snapping off. So I took it and I actually welded it. I was very careful. It was one tack weld at a time, blew air on it. I would touch it, I mean, just seconds after I welded it, and blew air on it, and I could touch it, so I knew it wasn't getting too hot. Working very well. So now I'll go over, and you can see, actually you can see here while I pull the throttle. You can see that. Yep. You can see it pulling that. So I'll go over quick how I adjust the kick down cable. There's a couple points of adjustment here. There's a Allen screw where you can pull this cable and set this barrel back and tighten it. And there's also adjustments on the bracket and this little nut here that can slide back and forth. And there's two jam nuts. So there's kind of like a fine-tune adjustment here. This is kind of your cable length adjustment. So what you want is at completely full throttle. Well, I'm going to set you up here on the so I can do this with two hands. All right, so what you want is this out of the way. At full throttle, you want to be able not to pull this any further. You want these both to bottom out at the same exact time. Okay, so what I did was I pulled this cable out all the way and make sure that they both happen at the same time. And when it's off, it shouldn't really have much pressure on it, which doesn't really matter. What matters most is that at full throttle, this is maxed, perfectly maxed. What you do is you set this to full throttle, you jam something in there or on the accelerator pedal, you loosen this nut and you pull this wire all the way out as far as you can and tighten that at full throttle so that they're both spot. And that's it. You'll have line pressure, part throttle, and you'll have the wide open. And with Hollies and Edelbrocks, there's brackets they make to make this all work. You're kind of out of luck with a ThermoQuad. So if you're trying to make it work, here's kind of an idea of how I did it. Seems to work pretty good. Obviously I won't know for sure until the truck's running, but in theory it should work pretty well. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. Helping you guys set up your own Lokar kick down cable. Very important to the life of the transmission. Don't run around without the kick down cable. You will smoke the transmission. So we got a lot to work on still. So I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.